Hello, I am going to talk about Agatha Christie, a book of mystery. Eh, where it was a winter morning and Agatha was bored because she had been in bed all day because she was sick. At that moment, her mother told her to read a book or better to write one. She began to write a story called House of Beauty on a typewriter, and they sent it to a magazine. But this editorial rejected her. Even so, Agatha kept writing and writing, was improving her writing little by little. Days passed, and she decided to write a novel. She remembers seeing a beautiful young woman in in a hotel in Cairo when she was visiting Egypt. The girl was always with two men, one on each side of her. One day, Agatha heard someone say that girl will have to decide between them at some point. It was all Agatha needed to get an idea and she started writing. Then she resumed the story, but unfortunately, they were returned. At that time, her mother told her send it to Eden Philpotts was a writer who had written many popular books. He read Agatha's novel with great attention and told her that her writings were very good. Years passed. Clara fell very ill, and the doctor told her that she had to be in a warm and sunny place to get better. They returned to Egypt, where Agatha began to dance a party. Later, when she returned to England, she began to receive invitations to dance, tennis match, and other parties. Was there that she met Reggie, a shy young man like her, who liked to play golf but didn't like parties or dance. They began to become friends and play golf every afternoon. Suddenly, Reggie told her, I want to marry you. She liked the idea, but he had to go back to Hong Kong. That was when they began to write letters to each other, agreeing that they would marry as soon as Reggie returned home. On October 12th, in 1912, when Agatha was 22 years old, she went to a dance at home of the Lord and Lady Clifford family. During the night, a young army officer uh, arrived to invite her to dance. She accepted. He was tall, friendly, and with beautiful eyes. His name was Archibald Christie. Agatha liked him immediately. Archie told him of his plan. He told him he wanted to fly, that he was trying to get into the Royal Flying Corps. Agatha told him that was very exciting. A week later, when Agatha arrived home, she found Archie Christie waiting for her. He said hello and told her was in Torquay, and she thought maybe it would be great to see her. Archie was there for the rest of the afternoon. When it was time to go, Agatha had invited him to dance, and she noticed that he told her that he had to travel to Salisbury and he proposed Mary to her. She told him that she couldn't because she was going to marry Reggie, but she wanted to marry Archie. And she wrote a letter to Reggie to say um, that no, she would marry with him, and he took in a very kind way. She was working as a volunteer nurse at Turbai Hospital in Turkey. Agatha and Archie were married on December 24th in 1914. 2 days later, Archie returned to the war and Agatha didn't see him for 6 months. Before the war, Agatha was talking with her sister Madge about detective story. They enjoy reading those type of books. Agatha said that she would like to write her own crime novel. She remembers some Belgians living in Turkey. She thought and began to build the character in her head. He will a very intelligent little man, very orderly. I would call him Hercules Poirot. Starting to write her story, Agatha went to Dartmoor to write her novel. Agatha stayed at the Moorland Hotel for 2 weeks. She wrote in her room. The character seems to come to life. When she finished her book, she sent it to various publishers, but they returned. Then she sent it to the bootleghead and forgot it completely. 2 years passed. She went back to work in London, and Agatha had a baby, Rosalind. When a morning in 1919, a letter arrived. It was from the bootleghead, and this editorial say her that her history is very good, but she must change the finally. The mysterious affair at the style was her first detective story, and she wanted to see it in bookstores. So she write a different ending to it and change one or two other little things, and John Lane was finally satisfied with this.